Video game journalists' worst enemies are themselves.
Oh, okay. Okay. Actually, it turns out that South of Midnight is actually on Game Pass. I had no clue. No clue. We might check it out actually. So a lot of people are saying it's like kind of not okay. It's kind of booty cheeks. But then other people are saying that it's freaking phenomenal and amazing. Just like Avowed, just like what was that other freaking game? Assassin's Creed. Yeah, for some reason I couldn't remember Assassin's Creed. Anyway, so I played Avowed. It was garbage. It was fun for a bit, but like it was fun because I was like really trying to freaking like bring the fun into. I had to bring and make my own fun in the game, but there was a lot. It had a lot of problems. It was like a lot of the boss battles and stuff were very boring. I promised I was gonna make a review on that. I promise I will still make that, even if it's like whatever freaking time it'll take. I'm gonna try to make it this weekend, but apparently the same story's happening here, where the vast majority of people are saying that the game is not good, and the journalists are going crazy that it's like super amazing and it's super good. So let's see what the actual true story is. But I saw this very dark headline. Otaku roasted for praising skippable boss fights and titles like Sweet Baby Cells. Sorry, you can skip a boss fight in this game?
Video game journalists' worst enemies are themselves. Gamers didn't just decide to
At what point does like a video game kind of like become this thing? It's kind of like it goes back to like Cuphead, where that one guy couldn't get past the tutorial. Like, at what point do we just sort of have to like admit that it's like, hey, I'm sorry, but you do not have the mental capacity to enjoy this story, this
wake up
art.
one day loathing these people and
Like, I'm sorry, but at that point, go watch a Let's Play. If you literally can't freaking play, like, beat the game, if you can't play the game, reduce the difficulty, or go watch a Let's Player, because you don't have the mental capacity to beat it. Like, what, you don't deserve to enjoy
for no
it.
good reason. For years now, they have had the worst takes, and they constantly attack gamers and expect no pushback, and clearly that's not happening. And now Kotaku is making themselves look like clowns yet again, because they're talking about how we could be entering a skippable boss fight utopia, just proving
That is horrible. That sounds like garbage. Like, what? Like, how much do you want to skip? Exactly. Why are you playing the game? Just don't play the game then. You're telling me that this game is better because you get to play it less because you don't play it? Like, how is that not the worst self-own ever? You're telling me this game is an improvement by the fact that it makes you have to play it less.
how little they actually care about video games. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic,
you want to skip a boss fight? Skip the whole game then. Don't freaking play it. What the frick is wrong with you?
I create, check out
it's
the links
so
in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I am all for the most amount of options for gamers possible. I do not care if you add an extra easy difficulty to a video game or if you add a feature like skippable boss fights. My problem is not that the average gamer might want to use that, it's that people who get paid to play and talk about video games are using that. I think that it's pretty ridiculous that video game journalists do not want to actually play video games, and at any chance they get, they will praise options to play less of them. And now Kotaku is getting absolutely roasted for their latest take, talking about how this might be the future of the industry and how good of a move.
Oh no, just wait. In like a month, if they make this a thing, in like a month, they're gonna charge you money to skip the boss and get the rewards. And I guarantee it.
That would be. So of course this is
they're just trying to make new microtransactions.
Walker. It says though, in a gaming world increasingly built out of Souls-likes, which there's a reason there's so many Souls-likes coming out, and that's because gamers actually like them, where the concept.
That's a whole other thing. I'm okay with Souls-likes having an easy difficulty if that's really what you need. At the same time, if the game is too hard, just don't play that game. Play a different game. Play something that's like more like that's not as difficult. Like, come on.
Concept of the boss battle becomes the central game mechanic. Some of us have been left behind. I have always hated
like refund it and get a different game. Like, you're not owed a freaking like
fights, and while I have no interest in convincing anyone else to agree with me, I have long lamented the lack of accommodation made for the many other people who are already with me, but sniff the air, something's changing. It just is another piece of evidence that points to these people not actually playing video games. There are plenty of video games now that come out that the main focus is not boss fights or a higher level difficulty. I mean, even look at something like Expedition 33. Sure, boss fights are a big part of it. You can get super OP.
Oh, it's freaking annoying as hell, and I love it. I freaking hate every single enemy is absolutely. I'm playing it on the hardest difficulty. Every single enemy, from the weakest of the weak to the strongest of the strong, is like one-shotting me consistently, and not like, and it's like, and I love it because it's like I'm able to build my characters such that I can mess up many times and it won't even be a problem. It's like it's really difficult, it's really tough, but it's fair. I never feel like any of the stuff is like not my fault, or I never feel like I can't improve myself to progress further.
You can make the game really easy so that it's more of a story experience, and that's perfectly fine.
But yeah, I mean, you can either bring it down to easy difficulty or just grind a little bit, and you'll be able to like push through.
The fact that you're saying, oh, there's not enough games where you can just outright skip the boss fights and just that's not play what makes it good is pretty ridiculous. It says though.
Imagine playing a Pokemon game and you just like you skip the gym leaders.
I recently loaded South of Midnight, interested to check out such a gorgeous looking game, and was immediately delighted by the art and the extraordinary performances in the cutscenes, but then, as Zach warned us, I was immediately underwhelmed by the repetitive combat. However, while idly fiddling through
This is supposed to be a good review? I recently loaded South of Midnight, interested to check out such a gorgeous looking game. Alright, so you're trying to, like, give it some clout. But then, as Zach warned us, I was immediately underwhelmed by the repetitive combat. Okay, the game is very pretty, but it sucks to play. So I'm glad they let me skip the boss so I didn't have to play it. This is supposed to be a good review, by the way, of South of Midnight. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I feel like you kind of just told me everything I needed to know about the game.
The game settings to see what was what, I saw a toggle I absolutely was not expecting. Boss skip option. Yeah, the mainstream media was very, very happy over this. I mean, here is an Aftermath article.
Monos, please tell me. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna try my damnedest to release this before we ever even touch. And we still got plenty to go through Oblivion and through Expedition 33. But if we play South of Midnight, would it be funny? Should I just freaking like play the game and skip all the bosses? Just don't play any of the bosses?
Just screw it. Like, South of Midnight has great difficulty.
Because the fact that you're giving me a skip button just sort of tells me that you think that this content is not worth playing. You get me? Like, you're basically telling me like, you can skip this and it won't matter to the game at all.
Difficulty options.
You know what I mean?
And of course, it talks about how you can just magically skip boss fights and even regular fights and chase sequences. So basically, anything that could be seen as gameplay.
I was gonna say, yeah, gameplay.
You can just straight up skip in South of Midnight.
You could just skip the game and just not play it. You know what? I get the feeling a lot of people are gonna do that. I got the feeling a lot of people are gonna just skip the whole freaking thing, just like you. Except they're not gonna pay money to skip it. They're just gonna not buy it.
Game, that's fine. Don't play a game. But you can't go around calling yourself a video game journalist if you don't actually like video games. I don't understand why these people are so adamant on holding on to their positions within this.
This is exactly why I don't care how long it'll take me, because I'll be honest with you, like I mostly spend most of my time, you know, live streaming for 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and then edit a lot during the weekends. So, which is why I don't have, like, a whole lot of time to just sit down, like, write the script and then, like, do the whole freaking review. But this is exactly why I want to start making reviews. And I'm not gonna and I feel like for the same, I feel like I am already complicating my own stuff too much. I am putting way too much effort, way too much, like perfectionism in my own stuff. Because, like, this is the competition. They can't even play the freaking game. I think, honestly, just the fact that I played all of Avowed from beginning to end puts me leagues ahead of a lot of these journalists.
this industry when they don't actually.
Nah, and I feel like it would be a good. I feel like it's something that like not only would it be good content, right, which I want to make, but I feel like I'd have fun doing it, and I feel like it's something that like the gaming community needs right now. It's just more people, not necessarily from me, but just in general. I feel like the gaming community needs more people that just play the game all the way through and just tell you if it's good or bad. Because good lord,
care about it. I guess at the end of the day, it just boils down to the fact that they couldn't make it at mainstream
we're really saying that this game is good while also talking about how awesome it is that you can just not play it.
political outlets like MSNBC, right? So they had to infiltrate another one, and they thought the games industry was going to be easy and that gamers were an easy target, but I think they've learned that that's definitely not the case. It says, though, in 2017, I wrote one of the most controversial articles of my career. Here we go, about Gamergate, a piece for which I received literal death threats alongside hundreds of more insults and wishes for my demise. As someone battle
Which not cool, by the way. No need for death threats. Her article was stupid. That's enough.
hardened
why y'all
by
taking it too far?
Gamergate. Oh my god, it's always the victim card. I'm a victim. Poor
It's
me.
battle
Woe is
hardened.
me. It takes quite a bit for the scale of a backlash to take me by surprise. And while I knew it would piss off some people, I didn't predict the volume. I wrote an article suggesting that boss fights should be skippable. And of course, we are seeing more and more companies decide to lean in that direction. I mean, I think that when you're getting to the point where you allow people to skip boss fights and you allow them to skip chase sequences and you allow them to skip any sort of combat segments, you should just be making a movie. And that's fine if you just want to.
It really is a movie at that point. You know what's funny? That this isn't a new problem, by the way. It's not like suddenly people became stupid and couldn't beat video games all of a sudden. This has been a common occurrence throughout all of gaming history. The difference is that back then, what they would do is that they would make the boss easy. Like, if you died to the boss a certain amount of times, they would like help you out. They would like give you a full health. They would give you bonus. They would give you an extra shield, a bonus like damage. They would give you something to help you out. You get me? Even Elden Ring gives you assists and freaking spirits to call.
But don't call it a video game when that's not actually what it is.
Like it's just being like just use intelligent, like smart, like just use smart and intelligent, creative gaming mechanics, and I feel like there's no need to be able to skip a boss battle.
You wanted to create in the first place. There are so many games I've never seen the end of, but for YouTube, I suppose, because I just wasn't physically capable of completing the later bosses. I've never finished a Metroid Prime game, for instance, despite it being one of my all-time favorite gaming series. There are other games I've been enjoying so much, but just had to abandon because every so often there would be a difficulty spike of such enormous disproportion that eventually I'd lose all will to try, and then they talk about how this is amazing and how good it is that they're actually allowing you a way out of these tough spots.
I just feel like the difficulty spike is there for a reason. That's the challenge. It's kind of like wanting to run a marathon and then complaining that you have to run.
They even, of course, continue.
Imagine going to buy a hot dog, but you're like, I don't like. Can I pay you extra money to not chew the food? Like, can you just like sort of like just force it down my throat so I can just suck it all down in one hit, like
to prop up South of Midnight, saying yet in the month since South
well,
of
it's a
Midnight's
part. The flavor is a part of it. The chewing, the texture.
In
It's all.
fact, I've heard only very few people talking about it. Yeah, that's because it's just a mid-game. It's not an awful game, it's not an amazing game, but it's not a memorable game. And they say, I'm fairly certain
I kind of want to just like, if it's in the menu, I kind of want to just like turn all the skip options on, and just sort of leave it there.
this has appeared in South of Midnight.
See what
as a
happens.
consideration
See how
for
like, what if it actually
accessibility,
is just a
and
movie?
that's wonderful. It's worth noting the game even lets you skip combat. Although, given how dull it is, that seems to fix another issue entirely.
They
In the
did say it was
last few
repetitive.
years, we've seen a dramatic change in how AAA games are being made with the needs of players.
Hey, do you have a very lame, repetitive gameplay loop? No need to fix it. Just skip it.
Put front and center. And as I said at the beginning of this video, and as I will continue to say, it is perfectly fine as an average customer if you want to skip boss fights and you think that this is a good option, by all means use it. My problem is,
oh yeah, I feel like normies are gonna be like, it's fine, who cares? I feel like the people who are like real, like who are into like challenging games, real gamers that are like really trying to get a game that sort of like hits all those ticks of like a game that requires some skill but also has like really fun gameplay and has some good visual. Like they're not going to like buy this game. You get me?
Is when a video game journalist is saying, oh, this is the future of the video game industry and how amazing this is, while propping up a game like South of Midnight and talking about how amazing this is, when the gameplay is so dull and so repetitive. They're not saying, well, maybe they should have fixed that game in the first place and actually made it a super awesome experience so that people wouldn't want to skip it. When your job is to...
There's literally people who play games on YouTube and have no commentary, no talking, no nothing. They just play the game. And you can enjoy it, and you can just, like, fast forward past the combat stages. Like, there's no reason for you to buy the game at that point.
To play video games, I expect the reviewer I'm reading to have actually played the video games, and Kotaku is getting absolutely roasted for this now. I had responded to their post saying, you'd like that. It's got over 1,000 likes, lots of comments on both of them. I mean, just going to Kotaku's thread, there's people saying always...
Yeah, she freaking ratioed them.
Gaming journalists clown license you. Has there ever been a more Kotaku headline? Man, you guys keep finding new ways to make even bigger asses of yourselves. I know it. People grimacing at that.
Arnie, what the friggin', I love it.
Retarded Kotaku post. Holy shit, you people are pathetic. The most non-gamer thing to say for a gaming website. Kotaku with the skip gameplay button
spam
games,
it.
and it's them just absolutely spamming it.
It's just so wild to me to like want to skip, like just skipping bosses, combat. Like, I guarantee, I'd like, no duh, skip cutscenes, I'm assuming too. At that point, just skip everything. Just skip the whole game.
The only reason I truly believe that video game developers are really focused on pushing things like skippable boss fights and skippable combat is because there are people like this on the internet. There are people who don't actually want to play video games, but want to feel like they're part of the cool kids club. So they end up adding these different...
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing, too. It's just kind of, why do you even want to, like, why are you a video game journalist? Why get involved in video games? You obviously don't like them, or you obviously don't want to play them. Like, it's just so wild to me.
Features for people who would complain otherwise so that hopefully they continue to get good reviews. We know that Death Stranding 2 is doing something similar where you can actually skip boss fights, and that was not received very positively either because, of course, the mainstream media is praising it. I think that that's pretty ridiculous. Clearly, I'm not alone either, given the fact that Kotaku's getting...
For Death Stranding 2, listen, I haven't beat Death Stranding 1, and I still don't think that it should be skippable. Like, that's the experience of the game. That's how the game works.
Absolutely wrecked right now. 85 likes to 297 reposts and 449 comments. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on this, but right now Kotaku's getting wrecked, and that means it's always a good day on the internet. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.
It had the longest claws.
Yeah, no, I got, like...
Video game journal.
I got no clue what the hell, like... where is the logic there? It's not even that, it's like... I don't know. It's just weird. It's just like, I don't understand. It's not that even, like, necessarily... There's no reason to, like... be mad at the game developer for adding the option. It's just like so wild that it's like, who thinks of that? Who thinks of like, oh, you know what would make this game good if we just didn't need to play it? Like, oh man, sick move. Like, well, great. Like, what? You don't want to fight any enemies? You don't want to do combat? You don't want to play? You don't want to gameplay? Skip the gameplay. It's fine. Like, who? Like, what kind of backwards logic is that? I don't get it.
It had the longest.
But please go drop a like, go drop a sub, all that good stuff. Monos, I went ahead and linked it on the Discord.
Video game.
Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today! I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi! That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!